Hey travelers, Mag and I here on day 204 of our trip around the United States. Today was originally slated to be our second day exploring Big Bend National Park. But having spent the entirety of our day out there yesterday, I don't really feel like the juice was worth the squeeze. All that's remaining to us in the park are the virtuals that are all down 4x4 and other tough to access trails that I think we're better off skipping so that we can continue on down the road. Currently, we're shooting from here in Marfa, the county seat of Presidio County, which is the very last county and page that we need to wrap up the challenges for the state of Texas. That's right, all 254 counties in this state and all the DeLorme pages are now complete. We've done it. We have taken on what is arguably the most difficult state, and we knocked it out of the park. Could not be happier about this. Unlike a lot of the other county challenges around the country, you cannot sign off on this final until you have completed all of the counties within the state of Texas. I've been coordinating with IndigoParrish before this trip and up through this trip, and he's been monitoring my progress as I go and seeing that I remain exactly on track with the plans that I've laid. So he's willing to come out and meet me so that I can sign off on the county challenge final. Once we meet up with IndigoParrish and we sign off on that county challenge final, we're going to turn right back around and head west to begin our journey into New Mexico. So let's see what today might potentially have in store. Come on, let's go.
Located in the high desert of the Trans-Pecos between the Davis Mountains and Big Bend National Park, Marfa resides as the county seat of Presidio County with a population of about 1,800 people. Originally founded as a water stop in the early 1880s, the population has been declining over the years. It is mostly known as a tourist destination for minimalist art. For Aichan and I, it was a welcome stop to be able to get gas and a bite to eat, as the rest of the area all around it is basically a lonely desert landscape. We really only needed to track down one more geocache today to claim completion for the state of Texas. We did find a few, but the important one was located right here in this pile of rocks. I could feel the sense of anticipation wrapping up as I pulled this geocache container out, knowing that I had officially completed the counties in the state of Texas.
We've done it. Aichan and I have completed the Texas County Challenge. 254 counties! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! IndigoParrish has been nice enough to come out here and meet us so that we can sign the final before we depart the state and head our way west through New Mexico, Arizona, and on to California. I'm so very excited to see this geocache and finally add my name to the log for this coveted challenge. Thank you so much for coming out to meet me, Indigo.
Congratulations. It's a big achievement, and I love seeing people at the finish.
And this is the county challenge to finish. Yes!
There is a lot of geocaching history to be found in the logbooks within this county challenge final. Every single person that has completed the counties receives a finisher's number at the end of their journey. In talking with the tradies during our tour of Austin, I was told that this finisher's number is a pretty big deal. It's not uncommon for two finishers of the Texas County Challenge to meet each other and introduce themselves by number. With the journey provided by traveling through all of the counties in the state of Texas, it leaves everyone with quite a story to tell, which they try and relay in a very short blurb in the logbook. I am Texas County Challenge finisher number 343. And while with the large majority of geocaches, I simply stamp my name and move on, this is one geocache where it was worth taking the time to not only sign my name, but add my own blurb about my adventure working my way through the state of Texas. A satisfying conclusion. Heading west back along the I-10 once again, we dropped into Van Horn, the county seat of Culberson County. This was a very important stop for Aichan and I because it would be the last signs of civilization that we would be seeing all day long. Once we departed Van Horn, it was off into the deserts of Texas on our way into New Mexico. So once again, we filled up the tank and then prepared for the long road ahead. Our route into New Mexico would bring us north along Highway 54 until we hit the juncture for Highway 62 where we would turn west. This beautiful drive, still within the Chihuahuan Desert, brings you southwest of the Guadalupe Mountains National Park. There were several earth caches for us to stop and check out along the way, which gave us the excuse to get to know the natural environment a little bit better. The most interesting of those concentrates on the salt flats. And the salt found here is no joking matter. It was considered such a precious resource that it led to the El Paso Salt War in the late 1870s. An all but forgotten event here in the lonely Chihuahuan desert landscape.
That is an official wrap to Texas. We did it. We signed off on the Texas County Challenge Final and pushed our way west to our entry point into New Mexico. This is our final send-off to the state. And what better spot to do it than with the highest point in the state in the background. If you'll notice behind me, we have El Capitan and Guadalupe Peak, which is the state's highest point. There is a virtual up there, and you can climb up there to claim it, but Aichan and I are not doing that today. We don't have the daylight to do it. We're not going to hang around tomorrow to wait till morning to do so. We're going to continue this push on into New Mexico from here. It has been a fantastic time, Texas. We have really enjoyed this tour of the state, but it's ever onward. Next stop, New Mexico.
The landscape changed almost immediately as soon as we hit the border to New Mexico. The rich diversity of flora all but disappeared, and the landscape flattened out as far as we could see ahead of us.
It is official. We have made it into New Mexico, coming in through the very lonely Page 56 Alpha. And as you can see, there is not much out here.
There are only a few geocaches to be found out here in this page, and it is a long way between each one of them. Fortunately for us, this near barren desert landscape does not exactly offer a lot of potential hiding places, making each of the finds relatively easy. I always relish the chance to get to dig through the contents of an ammo can, no matter how far off the edge of the map we are. Each of the geocaches that we stopped to find was a welcome chance to get out of the car and stretch our legs after a long, winding, bumpy road.
Good girl, that's right. You found it, Aichan. That's right, it's right there. Good job, Aichan. Good girl, you're getting good at this game. Yeah.
This one had me worried for a second, as I thought the geocache might have been destroyed. But upon closer examination, I realized that this was just the cover from the original hide. The new hide was buried in the mud just underneath that one. There are no people to be found out on these lonely desert roads. However, there are quite a few cows. Seeing all of the cows along the sides of the road and in the middle of the road kept Aichan quite engaged.
Pardon me, but do you have any gray coupon?
Guess I'm not gonna get any good condiments out this way.
So how about you? You know how to get to Las Cruces? I asked your buddy down the road, he had no idea. Nope.
We are not getting a lot of help from the locals out here. I guess we're on our own to navigate these lonely, dusty New Mexico roads.
All right, have a good one, buddy. Thanks anyway. See ya.
It was worth a try.
Alright, this lady definitely has to know what's going on because she clearly wants us to stop and talk.
I don't know who's enjoying seeing all these cows in the road more, me or Aichan, but we're both having a pretty good time of it. What do you think, Aichan? Pretty exciting? Yeah? What are those cows doing over there, huh? Hopefully they're gonna move out of the way.
Without any sign of cell signal, and obviously getting no help from the locals, I guess it's up to Aichan and I to continue to navigate these lonely New Mexico roads until we find our way back into civilization.
Well, that is going to do it for our day. The sun sets on our first day here in New Mexico. We started this morning in Texas, finishing up our last county, Presidio, and our last DeLorme page, page 63. Before setting on the long route out to meet IndigoParrish to sign off on the Texas County Challenge. Once we went ahead and added our name to the logbook, we flipped right around and shot west to head on into New Mexico. As soon as we got into New Mexico, the pavement ended and it has been dirt roads the whole time since we've been here, moving through pages 56 and 48 coming north into the state. The only people that we've seen since we got into New Mexico this afternoon were Border Patrol agents, and we saw 4 of them.
Beside that, it was cows. Lots and lots of cows. It's very, very lonely out here in this part of New Mexico. And we still have half a tank of gas, so I'm very hopeful that we'll actually reach some form of civilization in the next few hours and be able to fill up the tank at a minimum and find a place to sleep if things work out in our favor. Either way, we're definitely where we need to be, and because we were zooming across those miles, we're a pretty good clip ahead of our schedule too, so we will be in a great place to kick things off tomorrow. Thank you guys for joining us on our very last leg of Texas and the journey beginning into southern New Mexico. Like this video, subscribe to stay tuned for daily updates, and we'll see you out on the trails.